Please be seated.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello, Jerome.
This is the case of Luce versus Zuniga.
Thank you. Good day, everyone. Good day. Ms. Luce, you are suing the defendant for $2,716.86 of back child care expenses for your son, Marley.
Yes, Your Honor.
You say there's no need for a paternity test because you're certain he is your baby's father.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Zuniga, you say you don't owe her a dime. Because you're not her son's father, you've petitioned the court for a lie detector test and a paternity test because not only are you not his father, but you claim to know who his real daddy is.
Yes, Your Honor.
The court will reveal the results of the lie detector test and determine if a paternity test should be ordered. Ms. Luce, why do you feel like Mr. Zuniga has completely abandoned you and your son?
For the first 4 months of my son's life, he was there. He stepped up. He was a man. He wanted to be his father. He was excited about everything. And then all fell through. He abandoned us. I had to take care of my son alone, on my own. I had to pay for every little bit of the expenses, all the diapers, all the wipes, every single piece of clothing he needed. I have the receipts here. I've had to do it all alone, and I feel as if he owes me at least half of the money that I've had to put into raising my child alone.
Let me see the evidence you brought. Jerome, when you say everything was going well and then he abandoned you, why? Why do you think that happened?
He hasn't seen him in a little over a year. He hasn't seen him since he was 4 months old. My son has no idea who he is.
Mr. Zuniga, did you abandon them?
First of all, Your Honor, I didn't feel like I abandoned him. At first, really, I never really thought the kid was mine. From day one, she seemed easy. We had sex the first day.
So have you helped at all with Marley?
Yeah.
Any money, any financial support?
Well, yeah, I did. At first, I spent all my tax money. Last year, I got a substantial amount, and I spent every dime on him. I didn't spend one dime on myself.
Ms. Luce, is that true? Has he given any money?
He might have put money into a crib. He might have put money into the little things he needed then, but he didn't do anything else after that.
And you've presented to the court evidence of expenses you've had to incur.
By myself.
Including diapers, Similac, baby food, feeding set, bibs, onesies, all things a baby needs, totaling $2,716.86. Mr. Zuniga, I need to understand your doubt.
First of all, I never really knew her.
Okay, you slept with her, right?
I met her.
Oh, no, answer my
through a
question.
mutual friend.
You
Yeah.
slept with her, right?
Yes.
Did you use protection?
No.
Well, you know her now.
Yes.
Okay, proceed.
I was new to the town. Well, I found out that she never really stayed in relationships long, and that she liked to jump from guy to guy.
Miss Luce, were you sleeping with other men when you were sleeping with Mr. Zuniga?
No, not one. I did sleep with a few men after him, but I was only sleeping with him when we were together.
Okay,
But that's
Mr. Zuniga,
not
do
the
you have
matter
any
at
other
hand.
children?
No, ma'am. I've always thought I was sterile.
You do.
Yes. Putting the long relationships aside and trying to have, kids with them and consulting doctors, I did a lot of sports. I've had a lot of sports-related injuries. I think that might have something to do with it. I've been in at least 3 long-term relationships where I've tried to have children with them.
And you have not had a child?
No.
So you believe your relationship with Miss Luce also could
If
not.
not-
So you don't have any doubt?
No.
You
not at
haven't
all.
slept with anybody else in your mind?
I was committed when we first started hanging out. I stayed at home with my godbrother, taking care of his kids until he got off work.
Your Honor, may I add something?
Yes, sir. What would you like to add?
While I was at work, I asked her what she used to do. And she used to tell me she was going to her brother figure house and getting her moped fixed. I mean, that thing's probably still broke right now.
Oh, so you believe she was going over to this other gentleman's house
Not
and he
only
wasn't
do
a
I
brother
believe
figure,
that.
he was really...
There's this one instance where this lady came up to me and she told me that while I was with her, she was cheating on me the whole time with her husband. And he looks just like the father. Red hair and blue eyes.
Okay, so the gentleman he's talking about Ms. Luce, have you had a relationship with this man?
I did have sex with him. There was the relationship, but that was after we split. The brother figure he's talking about is my godbrother. I had to help him raise his kids. That's where I was living.
But you weren't sleeping with him?
No.
Do you have any reason why Mr. Zuniga doubts you so much?
I honestly believe it's only because he thinks he's sterile and that he can't have kids. I gave him no reason to feel as if I was cheating on him.
What about right after you left me? How you got with that one guy from the park. And then right after that, you started getting with the bouncer.
With a bouncer?
While you were with him.
No, I was only with two different people at separate times after I slept with him.
Really?
Yes.
Because that's not what they think.
If you want more episodes of Paternity Court, make sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell. How long were you two together?
Not 2.5 weeks, maybe.
Did you say 2.5 weeks?
Yes, Your Honor. As far as I know, she could have been pregnant before I even got with her.
Why are you young people running around having unprotected sex with people you knew for 2 weeks? Okay, Miss Luce, you worrying me now. Yeah. Because, no, you're a beautiful young girl, and I don't want you living up to your last name. So, Miss Luce, you brought a witness today.
Yes.
Who did you bring?
His mother.
Jerome, can you please escort Miss Vertigan into the courtroom? Hello, ma'am.
Hello, Your Honor.
Thank you for joining us today.
You're welcome.
Now, you are Mr. Zuniga's mother.
Yes, ma'am.
Explain to the court how you feel about this situation.
I love my son. Don't get me wrong. I really honestly love my son. And I would be on my son's side, but his reasonings are crazy to me. What makes you have a baby? Sex. What did they do? Have unprotected sex. I submitted pictures earlier to the courts of how much they look alike.
First of all, Your Honor, my mom, she's always wanted me to have kids. Once I got of age, I got older and started
Oh
settling
my
down.
goodness, no, Your Honor, I didn't want him sleeping with nobody.
She told me herself that she was that age
She
to
didn't
be a
even
grandmother.
speak to me until after we found out I was
wouldn't even
pregnant
speak to
because she
her.
thought I was just a fling.
Because my son goes through women like toilet paper. I did not want to speak to her. But Your Honor, if you look at those pictures, their eyes look so much alike, and they have the same features, the dark circles. My grandson was born with jaundice, Your Honor,
I
and
came
my
out-
son was born with jaundice.
I came
My
out with
son
a
has a
full head
muscle
of hair.
spasm in his eye.
Brown hair.
My grandson
brown
has a
eyes.
muscle
I look
spasm
just
in
like
his
my
eyes.
father. This kid looks nothing like
Yes, because my son is 50% Mexican. His dad was 100%. Does he look like my son, Your Honor?
Listen, we have learned, Jerome, now you can testify
Looks
for me
don't
on
mean
this.
nothing sometimes.
Looks
It don't.
sometimes have nothing to do with the
Amen.
DNA.
Okay, but what about the jaundice? Both of them had jaundice.
So, Miss Luce, let me ask you this. You found out you were pregnant. You told him. Did he go to a doctor's appointment?
He wasn't at any of the doctor's appointments, but he made sure that he had to get to the hospital when
So
I
he
had
was
my
there.
son.
I did drive
I was
3.5
there.
hours there.
Yeah.
It was snowing. I drove through the snow and everything, and I also
Your
drove
Honor.
back. I drove there because I didn't believe the kid was going to
Oh,
come
no,
out
no,
looking
no, no,
like
no,
me.
no. Your Honor, can I stop
When
for a
I
minute?
drove there, I wanted to validate that he
Oh,
would be
no,
my
no,
kid.
no.
I got there, he looked nothing like me. He
No.
looked a lot like that
So
kid that
when you heard the
she
baby was
cheated on me
coming,
with.
you drove 3.5 hours. You said, I want to go see this baby.
No, Your Honor.
Yes.
Did you sign the birth certificate?
I did at first, and then she lost the paperwork. So then I
Well,
was
wait a minute.
3.5
Before we
hours
get to the
back.
part where you
Right.
lost the paperwork, you drove 3.5 hours because you said you wanted to see if the baby looks like you.
And
So
the-
if you signed the birth certificate, that I would presume that you thought it looked like you.
Babies don't look like nobody when they're born.
Right here, we have in the monitor a picture of you holding the baby.
Well, I'm not a jerk, Your Honor. I didn't have a dad.
You agreed to give him your last
Your Honor,
name.
honestly,
Yes.
I
I
didn't
need
give
to
him
say
my last
Yes.
name.
This
She
is
did that
important.
without my
Hold on.
consent.
Yes,
This is
Ms.
important to
Vertigan,
me.
say what you need
He
to say.
was so upset we couldn't make it. He was mad. He was throwing things around in the house. He was upset we couldn't leave right then and there to watch his son be born because his dad wasn't there. Were you not?
I was.
And you feel very emotional because
Because he went through it. He went through it without a dad, and he's gonna have the same thing happen.
The more I see him grow up, the less he looked like me.
It
Because he doesn't
matter.
know you.
And he doesn't have to look like you. You don't look like me the more you grew up, but I knew you came from me.
Yeah, but I came straight from you. There's no doubt in that.
It doesn't matter.
I know who the father is. He has red hair.
Ultimately, Mr. Zuniga, that's the reason you requested a lie detector test, because you believed she was sleeping with other people. So was that during the window of conception?
The guy I got with knew I was pregnant, but I hadn't went to the doctors to get it verified.
I understand that now. I'm ready to go to the lie detector results. These results will determine whether or not a DNA test will be ordered. You met with a licensed polygraph professional
Yes,
who has more than 20 years experience.
Yes.
And you took this test. You were asked if you ever had sexual relations with any other man while dating Pedro, which is Mr. Zuniga. You said no. The lie detector determined deception indicated.
That's not a shocker.
It is this court's finding that because you were with another man during the time you were also with Mr. Zuniga, we're going to order a paternity test. And I order both of you leave here immediately, submit to the testing, and return to this courtroom where we will have the results. Are we clear?
Yes,
That's
Your
why
Honor.
I'm
Jerome,
here, Your
please
Honor.
escort them out. Court is adjourned. We're back in session in the case of Luz versus Zuniga. They have submitted to the paternity testing, and Jerome, please escort them both into the courtroom, please.
Hey, folks, come on with me. How you doing?
Ms. Luz, Mr. Zuniga, welcome back. You've both submitted to the DNA testing. Am I correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And before we get to the results of that testing, Ms. Luz, I have to ask you, is there anything else you'd like to say to Mr. Zuniga?
Yes. You were there from the start.
Yeah.
You started out being a good dad, then you vanished. You abandoned your own kid.
I did more than anybody would have done regarding
You're acting
the
just
fact
like
that
your dad
she
when you
lied.
promised me you would.
went
You
on a
need to be the
polygraph.
father of your son.
Oh my God,
deceptive.
like that
You've been
matters. That has
deceptive.
nothing to do with it. Why'd you step
It
up
proves
before?
everything, because it proves what I've been thinking the whole time.
No, but you know
and
what
I'm
it's
still
like.
here trying to, figure out if this
You were
kid's
there
mine
before.
or not.
You need
That
to
way
step up
I
and
can
be
step
there
up.
again.
Well, I will if it's my kid, but I don't believe you. Everything shows me
So,
that you're
Mr. Zuniga,
lying.
let me understand. I see you all are very frustrated today. And I believe it was due to the results of the lie detector test
Yes.
that I
That doesn't
revealed
matter.
in our previous session. Am I correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
You're feeling like your doubts about the child have only been further
Yeah,
solidified.
Pretty much confirmed everything I've been thinking from the beginning.
You're the one that wanted me to move in with you. So you can be part of his life, so you can be
And the whole
closer to him
time we're-
because you claimed him
And
as
you moved
yours.
away, and you want me to be there, but
It
you
doesn't
move
matter.
away.
He was there though. And he did
You're full of
step up for
excuses
me.
and lies.
Miss
all
Vertigan,
there is.
Mom, why are you so upset? You're
Because I went through this. I was her, and I don't want to say
You should be on my side.
I
You're my
do, I
mother.
love
You don't
you.
even know her. I know the facts.
This little boy didn't ask to be here.
Yeah.
He doesn't need any of this.
No, he doesn't, and he doesn't need the lies that you've been doing. You lied on your test. You're lying to me.
The test doesn't matter.
This is a baby, Your
Yeah,
Honor.
well,
He didn't ask to be here.
He knows the truth. And so
Well,
what-
family, one thing I can say, Mom, is that you are correct. This is an innocent
It's gotta
child
stop.
that didn't ask to be here, and I know doesn't want to grow up in this mess.
No.
Ultimately, that's what's important.
Yes,
And that's
ma'am.
why we're going to get the results,
Yes,
and
ma'am.
then I will rule on your suit.
That's
Jerome,
that's
the
what I'm-
envelope, please. These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Luz versus Zuniga, pertaining to 1-year-old Marley Zuniga. Mr. Zuniga, Do you want to watch Paternity Court on TV? Go to paternitycourt.tv to find your local listings. In the case of Luce versus Zuniga, pertaining to 1-year-old Marley Zuniga, it has been determined by this court, Mr. Zuniga, you are his father.
Oh, thank you, Jesus. My grandson, you say you're sorry. You tell him you're sorry.
But look at him.
And you tell him you're sorry. Look at him. Yes, look at him. Maybe that's yours.
But you lied.
Okay, but look at you.
Yes, I made
All right,
it
we're
right
getting over
compared
that.
to
We're getting
whatever
over
test
that.
says it. He is your son.
Say you're sorry.
But the test just proves that I was right.
All right, so what we gotta do now is we gotta figure out how to let this go. I wanna talk to you all in my chambers because I can see right now you all gonna run out of here because you're getting on my nerves, you're gonna get on Marley's nerves, and we need to talk about this. Meet me in my chambers. Court is adjourned. All right, family. Now, Miss Luce, you came into court today. You were suing for $2,716.86. Am I correct? I remember
like that,
correctly?
yeah.
Something like that. That suit was dependent upon the results, whether or not he was the father, and he is. And so, Mr. Zuniga, I'm going to award her half of that money. Now,
Can you see him?
would you like to see him? Yes? All right. Jerome's got him.
Oh,
Look at him.
my grandson. Come here, buddy. He don't know you, buddy. You know you gotta make
Mr.
that
Zuniga,
right.
what would you like to say to your son?
I love you, buddy. I'm not going nowhere.